Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are in the old number 3, getting ready to pick up some oil for the first run of the day. We have fired the locomotive and whoa, what is that? Oh, it's inside the oil. Oh, check that out. Huh. So we are firing the locomotive at this point, just kind of warming it up for the day. Just the start and send that on its way. Definitely need to move some oil over. We are on 0, so we're gonna have to get some oil sent over here so we can get back into oil production. Alright, switch is good. This switch will auto flip, but we'll flip it for it. So sending the loco down the rails. Generally don't have to babysit it too much in here, so we're not going to worry about that. Might as well knock down a few of these trees while we are waiting. Only need to open things up for a little better visibility. We're starting to make some progress in that department. Go. Cook Mogul looking good as ever. One of the better looking locomotives in the game, if you ask me. Got that classic American loco look. Put that away. Grab onto here. And now we will head down the long spline, heading down the Magic Bridge. Turn that off. Up here you'll see one of the strips through the trees right there. Not pre-cut, or pre-cut actually. That is not cut by anybody in the server. It's just some of the lines through the trees that are out there nowadays. I'm sure if you play in the fall update, you've seen them. Several of them all over the map. So, it's kind of unique in the way that the tree's laid out, I guess. But, looks like we're picking up a little bit of speed there. It's a nice, gentle grade though, all the way down. That one just auto clicked in real nice. Can't complain. I'm pretty happy with it. The look down the back valley here is pretty impressive. And it makes the oil runs pretty easy. That's for sure. Still have more trees in here that we have to take out, which we will get to working on at some point. So many trees to cut down in the game. That's just the reality. So many trees. I know we always jokingly say when you start this game, it's kind of a lumberjack simulator before it's a train sim. So and it really, it's not over with until you're done. Otherwise there's always a tree here or there you can take out. Seems like lots of trees to deal with. All part of the fun of laying the track though. That's for sure. Nice simple layout. We're gonna set up for some more money and then we'll be tacking on new locomotives once we get the start getting the money rolling in again, which we're starting to do. Currently we're up to 10,000, which isn't a bad place to sit. It's definitely not hundreds of thousands, but I don't like to be too much under that just in case you have stuff to do too, so we'll be adding to that. and then really starting to step up the size of these loads and seeing what we can get away with the new layout. Probably step up a few of the locomotives as well, being we did just kind of go with what we needed for the small trains, so we should be going through a new set of locomotives here coming up and making some progress towards bigger things. Let's see if we can get out ahead of the loco, which we are just gonna make it. There we go. That did not give us a lot of room to spare, that's for sure. It's a good thing those first guide wheels can kind of flip with the track, or that would have been a catastrophe. Try to see if we can roll this one in here. As you can see, we just have the box cars laid out on the other side, or nice and parked on the other side. Somewhere, generally speaking, in here should do it. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and load this one up, and then I'll be right back with you. Alright, so there we are. We are all filled up and ready to roll out. Not too many problems there. A little smoother. Keeping the train small with the oil sure helps load it up fast and efficiently. Probably didn't actually even need to cut for these because they don't take so long when we only are running the 4. But then this is going to be one of the first trains that we step up in size. So I'm thinking we're going to add 2 more to this stock when we get to another payday. And at least run 2 more. If not, we might actually try to start doing 8 out here at a time. But then we'll have to step up the size of the locomotive, I think, because I don't think the Cook Mogul is going to handle that. But we'll just see how it goes. Though I'm pretty sure it's not going to pull 8 oil cars loaded up the up that bridge. 8 definitely is going to be heavy. I think it's already starting to show signs of slowing when you have 4 on there with the caboose. We're definitely keeping the caboose on it. And I think the 8 is probably going to prove too much for Cook. In that case, we will step up the locomotive to something bigger. Put a little more power behind it. Not a long run, so it doesn't have to be a speedy locomotive, but we do need something with a fair amount of power because the oil cars are fairly heavy. That is certain. So we will be rolling this one on down the rails. Cook Mogul does work pretty good for the oil job. Looks great with the oil. That's kind of why it's always, you know, the one I put out here, because I just think it looks good with the oil cars. Classic look. A little locomotive. Oops. Should have flipped the old switch there. Kind of just take it easy and chill through the yard. Sending it through the old oil field. This is where the carnage happened on the live stream of all of the smashed locomotives and just a general pile up, sending some locos flying. Now we can open it up as we're heading out. And we are clear to go. Cannot complain with the look of the Cook. Just a great looking locomotive all around. The wheel set on the locomotive, or the Cook Mogul, if you will, it just looks great when they're rolling. You get a lot less blur, a lot less everything else with the design of the wheels, so that's just, you know, one big thing in its favor. If you ask me, it always has been. Just looks great going down the rail. Definitely not the biggest, beastiest locomotive on the game, but with its height, it still gets great size compared to other things. I think it deals with the high loads pretty well. Still coming in over the top. Great looking locomotive. Was, I feel safe saying it was my first favorite in the game. No doubt about it. Definitely a worthwhile pickup. Early in the game, this one will facilitate pretty much everything and anything you could need to do for a very long time. So if it is a first locomotive purchase, you definitely cannot go wrong with the Cook Mogul. The only reason I didn't do it on this one is, well, quite frankly, it was my first workhorse on my first playthrough, so on the second playthrough it kind of became, I was trying to do things with other stuff, but the old Cook Mogul monster, if you will, does great things, that's for sure. So I am a big fan. Pretty sure these pegs are for flags. Not sure how come we don't have any on it, or have options for the flags. That would be kind of cool. Still something I'd like to see added to the game. Little customization in our locomotives will definitely be nice for some unique look. Also our characters, right? I mean, I think that's one of the big things. We need player skins of some sort, whether that's just hats or jackets or what, but something in that range would be kind of nice to see added to the game. Or even just some optional player characters, perhaps, for when you're playing multiplayer. Gets a little confusing when you have, you know, a dozen of you and you all look the same. So that's for sure. Kind of a weird thing. On 100%, it seems to be pulling this up out of here pretty well. So we are going to step up and see how much Cook can pull. If we can do at least 2 more, we might keep it out here. 8 would be great, but we'll just have to see if we can get it that far. And here you can see the flat outs in the rail for how the game auto clicked in those, and you can see the bopping around of the locomotive in those when you stretch out the splines. Alright, looks like that worked out just about perfect. This layout being just as simple of layout as I could possibly come up with in my head, to be honest, for up here. No extra frills, no extra anything. It just barely gets the job done. Alright. Man, we are clear bag. Definitely do not need to go super fast in here. This is all kind of yard speed, if you will. I definitely do like having the cabooses on the back when it comes to backing in locomotives for anything, whether it's stops, drops. It all kind of, it just makes the end of the locomotive much easier to see and to know that you have everything with you. I like it on the long ones too, because it just kind of tells you that you have all your stock. When you get into the 10, 12, 14 car trains, it gets a little bit of pain to count them all and make sure that you keep track of them, because there's nothing worse than getting all the way to your destination only to figure out that you left one wagon somewhere along the way. That's for sure. Alright. Rolling back. Hey, whoa! Out of the boiler. Hanging out in there is not good for one's health. I wouldn't think. You can see the COMP way car. Make sure we're getting paid for these. We are getting paid for them. You definitely can drop all the way to, most of the stairs are as good as the dock for those that don't. I know a couple of people have asked me about, what are the dock drop ranges and stuff. You pretty much go from stair to stair. I'm not going to say all the time. Some of the drops that may, and some of the loads that may not work out specifically for you, but in most cases, it's definitely not a problem. I drop stuff on the steps all the time, so there you go. And boom. Pop that up. Pretty sure that's about enough money to just in that load alone to go buy 2 more of these, so that pretty much paid for the new acquisition. And as you can see, the crude is running right through the thing, so we have tons of oil that we can bring out here. Gonna need to start filling up some other stuff out here too, just to keep the production going, because we are running out. Looks like lumber will probably be the next priority, and many more oil runs to go. But I think with that one, we'll call that a win. Say thanks for tuning in. Thanks to the Cook Mogul for another job well done, and we will catch you on the next episode. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.